Okay. Now, when we talk about hydrocarbons, now hydrocarbons, the first thing which they can generally ask is about the definition of hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons are defined as, they are defined as compounds, defined as compounds.
With hydrogen and carbon only?
Yes, compounds with hydrogen and carbon only. Now this only can give you 1 mark because they ask for 2 marks. So hydrogen and carbon, 1 mark, and only word gives you 1 mark. So hydrocarbons are defined as they are organic compounds, or they are compounds you can write which contains with or which contains, to be precise, which contains hydrogen and carbon only. Then next part is, let us understand how these hydrocarbons are classified. Okay, how these hydrocarbons are classified. So classification of hydrocarbons broadly classified into 2 parts. Number one, saturated hydrocarbon. Okay, number one, saturated hydrocarbon. And the second part, unsaturated hydrocarbon. First, saturated, and second part is unsaturated hydrocarbon. Now, what do we mean by saturated hydrocarbons? The saturated hydrocarbons are those hydrocarbons which contains carbon to carbon single covalent bond. Carbon to carbon single covalent bond. Carbon to carbon single covalent bond. So such saturated hydrocarbons are also called as alkanes. Such saturated hydrocarbons are also called as alkanes. Okay. So alkanes are single covalent hydrocarbons which are coming under the category as saturated. When we talk about unsaturated, now unsaturated is further classified into 2 types. Certain compounds having carbon to carbon double covalent bond, okay, double covalent bond, and they are called as alkenes, ENES. Double covalent bond, alkenes, and the last one, last group, carbon to carbon triple covalent bond, triple. So triple covalent bond, classified as alkynes. Okay. So alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. So it's just that you can remember in the order of alphabet: A, E, Y. ANES single bond, ENES double bond, and YNES triple bond. So in our year 11, we will be mainly focusing on the alkanes and alkenes. That is what we are going to study about in hydrocarbons. You do not have anything, you are not going to study in year 11 for alkynes, but yes, when you go to higher grades, there will be topic of alkynes as well, okay, which you will be learning in maybe in A levels or maybe in the universities, because alkynes, we don't have much of detailed study in your normal, till your 13, you don't have that. But yes, alkanes and alkenes play a very important role. So in year 11, we are going to study about basics of alkanes and alkenes. So that is what is one of the part of hydrocarbons. So yes, hydrocarbons broadly classified saturated, unsaturated. Saturated means single covalent bonds. Unsaturated further classified into double bonds called alkenes, and triple bond alkynes. Let's go to detail about alkanes. Let us learn about more detail for alkanes. So alkanes, ALKANES. Okay, alkanes. So when we talk about alkanes, we have already studied one of the characteristic that they have carbon to carbon single covalent bond. Okay, they have carbon to carbon single covalent bond. What else we need to what else we need to understand about alkanes is what's their general formula. So the general formula is CnH2n plus 2. CnH2n plus 2, where n is equal to number of carbon atoms. N is equal to number of carbon atoms. Now n is equal to number of carbon atoms. Now what do we mean by this? So see, now if you look at all the three names, alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes, if you look at the starting three letters, these three letters, ALK, ALK, and ALK, these three are same, which means there has to be some common character of that ALK. So yes, the common thing is, depending on the number of carbon atoms, the name of that ALK is changed. This ANE depends on carbon to carbon single bond, means ANE refers that it is carbon to carbon single bond. This ENE refers carbon to carbon double bond, and YNE refers carbon to carbon triple bond. So your alkanes, alkenes, or alkynes is actually divided into two parts. Number one, first part, ALK, refers to number of carbon atoms. So depending on number of carbon atom, the name of that ALK will keep on changing. Then the prefix which is there, if it is ANE, then we will understand that yes, it is having a single bond. If it is ENE, then we understand that yes, it is having a double bond. And YNE, which means we understand that it is having a triple bond. So it's completely two parts. First part depending on number of carbon atoms, and the second part is depending on number of bonds between the carbon atoms. So over here, since we are talking about alkanes, so we know that ANE means it is going to be carbon to carbon single bond, but that ALK refers to number of carbon atoms. So let us just learn that if there are 1 to 10 carbon atoms in a compound, then what will be the name of the compound, which will change to. So that a table which we are going to write it, which is once again a very important, a crucial part. So depending on number of carbon atoms, okay, depending on number of carbon atoms, the name of ALK will change. Name of ALK. So if there is one carbon atom, the name of ALK will be called as meth. 2 eth. 3 prop. 4 bute. It is not but, it is bute. 5 pent. 6 hex. 7 hept. 8 oct. 9 known, and 10 dec. So meth, eth, prop, bute, then depending, this sides which you say pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon. So this 5 is actually most important. Out of that also first 4, which is something which you are learning it for the first time. So you can just remember one mnemonic to remember: my ear pinna. Pinna means the external ear. Badly pains. So my ear pinna badly pains. If you just remember this sentence, you will actually get to know, or you can actually remember that my means methane, ear pinna, ethane, P for propane, butane, pentane. Yes, Elizabeth, just 1 second. I'll go to the previous slide, just 1 minute. So this is something, the whole 10 thing: methane, meth, eth, prop, bute, pent, hex, hept, oct, non, dec. So now whenever you find, like, depending on the number of carbon atoms, the ALK name will be fixed. Even if it is a double bond or triple bond, that doesn't matter, that ALK is common. So I'm just going back to the previous slide. Okay. You guys can take a screenshot if you want. Otherwise, I am going to share this notes with you definitely. The reason I'm not making you to write is because it will save time so that we can cover up more in 1 hour. So that's why I'm not allowing you to write. But yes, there will be certain parts in today's lecture where I will ask you to write it down. Okay, even though if it takes time, it's okay, because organic compound, this hydrocarbons come under the topic organic compound, which requires writing practice. Okay, chemistry, where there are reactions. So I want you guys to write those reactions, because it's not a theory chapter, it's something which requires writing. And if you do not study organic compound, I repeat, if you do not study organic compound by writing, trust me, it is going to be a very, very, very difficult chapter for you. So you have to write, you have to keep on writing. And also, whatever notes I'm giving you, I'm sharing because of two reasons. Number one, so that yes, you can revise, you can have a compilation of all the things. And second, so that you can copy it down as your own notes. Because for any chapter, when you write it on your own way, when you do self-study, that is how it will register in your mind for a longer period, correct? So please make sure that you utilize your vacation, since you don't have school right now. So, and also we are meeting twice in a week. So rest of the time, just dedicate some number of hours to do self-study. Okay, so that you know whatever we are learning, that is registered in your mind. It should not happen that when we meet at the end of the August and when you have a test of, so then you forget that what we had done in the starting of September. Okay, so just make sure. Okay, so this is something meth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex, hept, oct, non, dec. Yes, there are also name of alkanes from 11 onwards, also means number of carbons. If it is 11, 12, 13, we do have that. But yes, we are restricting ourselves only till 10. 11, 12 and all is not, we are not going to study it right now. So 1 to 10, you know, that's more than enough. Okay, that is important, which is required as of now. So this is about name of the alkane. Now let us try to write the structures of hydrocarbons. So we will be talking about alkanes. So let us write, or let us draw the structures. So first structure, okay, so we are going to write the name, the alkane. Then we are going to write the structural formula. Structural formula. We are going to write molecular formula. And we are going to write empirical formula. Okay, empirical formula, we'll write it later on. I'll explain that. So first alkane, the first member of alkane, let us write that as methane. Now meth means how many carbon atoms? Meth means how many carbon atoms? One. So I'm going to write 1 carbon. Now another note point, valency of carbon is 4. Okay, valency of carbon is 4. So we need to make sure that carbon should have 4 bonds. If it is having only 1 carbon atom, how many bonds it will have? 4. So if 1 carbon atom, so what is the next element? What is another element in this compound? Since we are studying hydrocarbons, so along with carbon, what is the next compound? Which is the next element? Along with carbon?
Hydrogen.
Yes, so there will be 4 hydrogens, correct. So what will be its molecular formula? C1H4. CH4. Very good. Let's go to the next one. Next one, ethane. Now, eth means how many carbon? Eth means how many carbon? 2 carbons. So I'm going to draw 2 carbons over here. Now, since it is ANE, right? It's ANE. So between 2 carbons, there has to be a single covalent bond. Okay, between 2 carbons, there has to be a single covalent bond. Now, this carbon already has 1 bond. So there will be 3 more bonds. Total 4 bonds. But 1 carbon has already that single bond. So 3 more bonds. This carbon also has 1 bond. So 3 more bonds. What will be the molecular formula? What will be the molecular formula?
C2H6.
Yes, very good. C2H6. Then let's go to the third one, propane. Okay, prop means how many carbon atoms? 3. So 1, 2, 3. ANE, once again, carbon to carbon single bond. The first carbon, Akbar, can you tell me how many more hydrogens will be there?
First one, so 2 for the middle one.
First one already has 1 bond. How many more bonds will be there?
Oh, 3.
3. Correct. Okay. Alishba, second carbon. Second carbon has how many bonds? Yes, Alishba. Second carbon has how many bonds?
Miss ethane.
No. My point over here, this is the second carbon atom in propane. In the compound which I have written, how many bonds it already has? 2 bonds, right? So how
Yeah.
many more bonds to go? How many
Just
more
2.
bonds? 2, correct. Vanya, for the last carbon, this carbon, how many more hydrogens?
3 more.
Yes. So is this clear how to draw the structure of propane? And when we count the number of carbon atoms, it is C3H8. Okay, so this is about methane, ethane, propane. This is the way how methane, ethane, and propane is written. Please copy down this part, how to draw the structures. Okay, draw it in your notebook, because as I told you that some of the things I will ask you to write it down. Okay, please copy this, copy it down. So now over here, methane, ethane, and propane, the first 3 members of alkane, meth, eth, propane. Okay, methane, ethane, propane. There is only one way of writing it. I mean, there is no other way of representation of these structure. But now when we start from butane, the compound that's butane, B-U-T-A-N-E, butane. Now, but means 4 carbon atoms. Okay, so now we are also going to learn that by looking at the name of the compound, can we directly learn how to write the molecular formula? So what is the general formula of alkanes? What is general formula of alkanes, Manas? The general formula of alkanes?
CnH2n+2.
Correct, CnH2n plus 2. So Noora over here, tell me that what is N representing over here? What is N?
4.
Yes, N is equal to 4. Very good. So Nabiha, can you tell me what will be the molecular formula? If N is equal to 4, substituting N is equal to 4 in the previous formula, what molecular formula I'm going to get? Okay, if N is equal to 4, so can I substitute C4 over here? Yes. Samuel, can you tell me what will be the molecular formula? If I'm substituting N as 4.
Would it be C4H24 plus 2?
2, 4 plus 2, matlab it will be what? 2 into 4 plus 2, right?
Yeah.
So the butane formula
10.
is C4H10. Yes. So now did you understood that the previous molecular formula, see this molecular formula, what we have wrote, that was by looking at the structural formula. But now we we also got to know that by looking at the name itself, you can substitute the number of carbon atoms, because we know that but means it's 4 carbon, ane means it has to be an alkane, and the general formula of alkane is CnH2n plus 2, means all the alkanes, whether it is methane, ethane, hexane, even the decane, all will follow these general formula, which is CnH2n plus 2. So if I'm substituting n is equal to 4, I get the formula of butane, which is C4H10. Now C4H10 can be written in 2 ways. Okay, everybody will pay attention, and then I will ask you, and then I will then you can copy. So C4H10 can be written in 2 ways. Okay, C4H10, the first structure, which is a straight chain compound, straight chain. So we directly write it as 4 carbon atoms in a row. First carbon already has 1 carbon over here. This is first, 1 bond. So more will be 3 bonds, H, H, H. Second carbon, 2 bonds. Third carbon also 2 bonds, and fourth carbon. So this is a straight chain where you don't have to think anything, and you just write all the carbon atoms in a row and hydrogen up, down, depending on like how many bonds are there. So this, if you count, it will have C4 and H 10 hydrogens, okay? 4 carbons and 10 hydrogens. But now there is also something which is called as branched chain, means branched structure. Something which is called as branched structure. So your branch structure is actually like, you know how in the tree the branching takes place. Let's say this is the tree, and then the branching takes place. Okay. Now, if you must have looked at the branching, remember there is a note point which you have to understand. Note, the branching can never be at the terminal carbons. The branching can never be on terminal carbons. Okay, it can never be on terminal carbons. So now how to write these branching structures? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write 3 carbon atoms in a row. But total in butane, how many carbon atoms are there? Total in butane, how many carbon atoms are there? 4. So the 4th carbon, I'm going to write as a branch. Now, the rule says branching can never be on the terminal carbon. Terminal means end carbons. So can I put the 4th carbon over here? Is this correct way to write the 4th carbon?
No.
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 Can I put the 4th carbon over here on the terminal carbon? Is this correct? No. So the only option left is the 4th carbon has to be like this. So this becomes my branched structure of butane. You have to remove 1 carbon and you have to put that 4th carbon as a branch, but yes, not on the terminal carbon. So this structure, this carbon looks like a pendant in the chain. Like you have a chain and you have a pendant, so that looks like a pendant. So this additional branching is actually called as a substituent, means it's something additional part of the main chain, main branch. Now I will write the carbon, I will write the hydrogen atom. So this carbon has 1 bond, so more 3 hydrogens, okay. The middle carbon, this carbon, will have how many more hydrogens? The middle carbon, the black carbon, will have how many more hydrogens? This carbon has already 3 bonds. 1, 2, 3. So how many more hydrogens should be there? Total how many bonds? Yes,
1.
total 4. So there will be only 1 hydrogen. This carbon, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this carbon, 3. 1, 2. So I have just drawn the structure of branched structure of butane. Now how to name this branched structure? So naming of branch structure has also one specific order. Okay. So to name the branch structure, so I'm going to write over here, naming branched structure. What is the protocol? Whenever we start writing the name of the branch structure, the first part, okay, the first part will be position of substituent. So now this is my main branching. This is my main part. Let's say this is my main trunk from which the branching is emerging. This is that pendant, or basically called as substituent. Okay. Now I'm going to number my main branch. I'm going to number my main trunk from which the branching has occurred. And numbering can be either from left to right or right to left. So this is my carbon atom 1. This is my carbon atom 2. And this is my carbon atom 3. Okay. The main branch, okay, the main branch which is there, which is the trunk from which the branching is emerging, I'm going to number that as 1, 2, and 3. Now tell me that pendant which is there, it is coming from which carbon atom? It is coming from which carbon atom? Position of substituent 2. So that is my first part. That is my first part. So I'm going to put 2 over here. Then there is going to be a hyphen. Means there is going to be a dash. That's the rule. That between a number and a letter, there has to be a dash. That's a rule according to the IUPAC. IUPAC is like, you can say, a union of chemistry where the naming of these structures happens. It's a literature of chemistry. So between a number and the next letter, there has to be a hyphen. Then afterwards, position of substituent hyphen. Then the next part is we have to write the name of substituent. So name of substituent. Now this substituent, what is this substituent? Now this substituent is CH3. What is CH4? What is CH4? What is CH4?
Methane.
Methane. So CH3 is called as methyl. Okay, if one hydrogen is less, instead of ANE, we called it as methyl. So what is my name of that pendant? If it is CH3, so what is the name? Just now we learned, so it is methyl. So that is my second part of naming the branched compound. And what's the last part? After naming the substituent, the last part is you have to name of parent chain. Now, that trunk which is there, or you can say the main chain where I have put a box. The box thing contains how many carbon atoms? The box
3.
contains 3. And what is the name of alkane of that 3 carbon atom? 3 carbon atom alkane. You just now did it in the previous slide. First, propane. Yes. So without any gap, you just have to write 2-methyl propane. Is this clear how to write the name of the branched? So 4 parts are there. Number 1, you have to write the position of the substituent. Second, you will put hyphen. Third, you will write the name of substituent, and fourth will be name of the parent chain. So butane can be written in 2 forms. One is straight chain, which is butane, and second is the branch structure, which is 2-methyl propane. After this, we are also going to learn for pentane also, so that you will understand in much better way. Okay, so please copy down this, and then we are going to solve one more example. We are going to learn one more example for pentane, so that we can revise this part once again. Please copy it down properly. Take your time. So now let's go for the structure of pentane. So when we write pentane, pent means 5 carbons. So we know that N is equal to 5. So CnH2n plus 2, substituting n is equal to 5 in this formula, we get C5H2 into 5 plus 2, which is C5H12. Okay, C5H12. Now this C5H12 can be written in, let's say, in how many ways? So one straight chain compound, which is 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 carbon atoms in a row. First carbon will have 3 hydrogens. Second carbon, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, and 3 hydrogens. So this is my first structure, which is called as pentane. The branched name is normally called as pentane. Straight chain is normally called as pentane. Now let's go for the branched structure. So now branch structure, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 carbon atoms, I'm going to write it in a row. And the 5th carbon, which is there. So as we were talking about, now branching can never be on the terminal carbon. That rule we have to understand. So I cannot put carbon over here. I cannot put carbon over here. But yes, I can put carbon over here. Now, some of you must be thinking that why not on the next carbon? So yes, we can also. So we can. Yes, Manas.
Miss, like for miss for previous one, we had taken 3 miss. So why can't we do that here also? 3 carbon.
We can take. That is what one more structure is, branch structure will be there. Total there are 2 structures branched.
Okay.
So yeah, so we are going to take. So either you can write this structure like this or like this. It's one and the same. Okay, because you can put that 5th carbon atom on this carbon or on this carbon. Then let us just draw the hydrogens. Let us just draw the hydrogens. H, H, H. 3 bonds are already there, so only 1 hydrogen. 2 bonds. 3, 3, 2, 1, 3. And the branched one, okay, so this is my substituent. The rule, now according to the rule, I'll just select. Now I'll start numbering. Now when we number the branch structure, so another rule we are going to learn. Rule, note point. Numbering the parent chain, while numbering the parent chain, okay, numbering the parent chain, substituent, the substituent should get least numbering. Substituent should get the least numbering. See, substituent is like a guest. So let's say, suppose if there is a sofa and there are 4 people sitting on sofa, maybe 3 of the family members and 1 is the guest. So we try to prefer to serve anything starting where the guest is near, right? We generally do that. So over here also, while numbering the parent chain, we have to do it in that way. So in this one, this substituent is closer from left hand side. So I will start numbering from here. This is carbon 1, this is carbon 2, this is carbon 3, and this is carbon 4. So where is the substituent nearby, from that side, I will start numbering my parent chain. And for the other one, which is the next compound, now the substituent is more close towards right hand side. So I'll start numbering it from here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you see both of them, the substituent is on the same position, means the second position. So that's why this needs to be OR. So either you write in the first form or you write it in the second form, it's one and the same. Now, what is the rule of naming the compound? First, we have to write the position of substituent. So what is the position of substituent over here? What is the position of substituent? Yes, position of substituent.
2.
2. Yes, then hyphen. Then what's my next part? Name of the substituent. It is CH3. CH3 is methyl. So name of my substituent is 2-methyl. And what is that name of the parent chain? In the box, how many carbon atoms are there? In the box, how many carbon atoms are there? 4. What is the name of alkane with 4 carbon atoms? Name of alkane with 4 carbon atoms. Yes, so it's 2-methyl butane. That's correct. So this is branched structure. So we have written 2 structures of butane till now, one straight, one branch. But yes, as Manas asked that why can't we write, we have 3 carbons. So yes, we can have more than one branching, correct? We can have more than one branching. So in the butane structure, there is a probability, there is a possibility that we can have one more branched structure. So one more branch structure is, we take 3 carbon atoms in a row. Now in pentane total, sorry, in pentane, not butane. In pentane, total how many carbon atoms are there? 5. First branch structure, what I did, I removed 1 carbon and we took 4 carbon atoms in a row and 1 carbon atom was taken as a branch. But now, as I told you, that there is also a possibility where you can have 2 branchings. So I took 3 branchings in a row, okay. Methane is CH4. I told you that CH4 is methane, but when you remove 1 hydrogen, it becomes methyl. That's the name. CH4 is methane, Alishba, not methyl. Okay. So now 3 carbon atoms and now there are 2 carbon atoms still left. Can I put that 2 carbon atoms over here? Is this possible? Can the branching be at the terminal? Can the branching be at the terminal? Yes
No.
or no? So I cannot put my branching here or here. So the only option which is left, the other 2, is on the second carbon. 1 up, 1 down. And that is how my all 5 carbons are attached. Circle. You cannot make it a cyclopentane. If you do that, then your hydrogens will not be satisfied. C5H, then it will be C5H10, not C5H12. Because if you put it in a ring, the 2 hydrogens will be less. Okay, so cyclopentane is not for only pentane, but it is for something else. You can draw it, but not for alkanes. Over here, you cannot change the number of carbon atoms. Remember that. Okay, let's write the hydrogens. So for each one, there are 3 hydrogens. For each of them, there are 3 hydrogens. Not for each of them, sorry, because the middle carbon will not have any hydrogen. So if you count in this, the molecular formula is still C5H12. We are not changing the molecular formula. Now, how to name this compound? How to name this compound? So the main parent chain from which the branching is emerging. Since the branching is in the middle, okay, it's in the center. So either you name it from left to right or right to left. That doesn't make any difference. So 1, 2, and 3. Now, how many branchings are there? 2 branching. Both the branching or both the substituent which are there, they are on which carbon atom? Both the
2.
substituent are on which? So 2. So definitely we have to write the position for both. So we will write 2, 2. Okay, 2, 2 hyphen. We cannot write only 2. Remember, since there are 2 branchings, two substituent, whether it is same or different doesn't matter, but we have to mention the position of both the substituent. So we write 2, 2. Between two numbers, there has to be a comma. That is also one of the rule. What is the name of the substituent? Can I say both are methyl, both are CH3, right? So we don't write methyl. Matlab 2, 2 methyl we will not write, but instead of that we will write dimethyl. So di is the word which is used if you have two substituents, two same substituents. So di is something if you have two same substituents. Then tri is something where you can use if you have three same substituents. So 2, 2 dimethyl. And what is that main parent chain? What is the main parent chain? What is the main parent chain? 3 carbon atoms. What is the main parent chain?
Propane.
Yes, so it's 2, 2 dimethyl propane. 2, 2 dimethyl propane. I am continuing with next slide. Once I explain the whole concept, then I'll come back to this slide. So just hold on for a moment. So yes, we have written for pentane 3 structures, 1 straight and 2 branching. Now if we can have a question, like we can think that why are we learning this? What is something so special? So there is something special is that if you talk about butane, which is C4H10, the same molecular formula, but it can be written in 2 different forms. One is the straight chain, which is the straight compound, and another is a branched one, which is 2-methyl propane, which is a branched compound. Okay, and C5H12, which is pentane, can be written in 3 ways. One is pentane. Straight chain, to be precise, are actually called as N-pentane, but we can just write pentane. Second, this is 2-methyl butane. And 2, 2 dimethyl propane. 3 carbon atoms. What is so peculiarity or what is so special about this? So now the speciality or the new concept which we are learning. Now this C4H10 can be written in 2 ways. C5H12 can be written in 3 ways. Hexane, octane. All these can be written in different formats. So the concept is if you have compounds, having same molecular formula, you have compounds having same molecular formula, but different structural formula. Pentane, 2-methyl butane, 2, 2 dimethyl propane, all of them have C5H12, C5H12 and C5H12. This also, butane, C4H10 or 2-methyl propane, C4H10, means the molecular formula is same, but only the difference is in the structural formula. So compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formula are called isomers. They are called as isomers. and the phenomenon, the whole phenomenon is called as isomerism. The phenomenon is called isomerism. So if they ask you to define isomerism, so what is isomerism? Isomerism is compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formula. And they can give you, as I told you, that for year 11, you have only still butane and pentane. In alkanes, you have butane and pentane only. So you have to remember only these two. Butane, 2 structures, straight, branched. Pentane, 3 structures, 1 straight, 2 branched. Only this much you have to remember. So they can ask you either to write, one of the structure of pentane as an isomer, or they will give you pentane and they will ask you to write one more isomer of pentane. So that way questions can be there. So you know that how to write the isomer. So that is why we are learning this concept, that same molecular formula but different structural formula are called as isomers. So pentane, 2-methylbutane, 2,2-dimethyl-propane. All three are isomers of each other. Butane, 2-methylpropane are isomers of butane. Is this very clear about the concept about isomerism? Yes.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so I want first you copy down this part and then I'll go back to the slide. Okay, so please copy down this. Okay, so when we are meeting in our next session, and at that in the next session we are going to study the reactions of alkanes. So we understood what are alkanes is, then now we are going to study about reactions of alkanes, and then we also going to start with alkenes. Okay, how to name alkenes, isomers of alkene and its reaction. So that will be our next class agenda. So with this, guys, we'll end up the session for today. Thank you very much. So see you on next Sunday with the next part of hydrocarbons. Till then, bye-bye, take care, have a nice day and have a nice week.
Thank you, Miss. Bye.
Miss, thank you.
Bye-bye, bye-bye, take care,
Thank you, Miss.
bye-bye.